An offering is not a sacrifice. The synthesis of the dark and the inner light. Quote, if your heart isn't yet illumined, be awake always. Be a seeker of the heart. Be at war continually with your carnal soul. But if your heart is already awakened, sleep peacefully. Sleep in the arms of love. Rumi. Today marks a month since my mom's passing. I have deeply felt my mom's love, sometimes to the point of tears. Her guidance is palpable. I was blessed to have seen her spirit rise and dissolve while leaving her material vessel behind. It was an honor that left me in awe. My first encounter with death was at the age of 8 when my paternal grandmother collapsed, followed by my father's fatal car accident less than 6 months later. I often fantasized that my mom's Alzheimer's was a gradual departure, drop by drop, sparing us the abrupt violence one experiences from a sudden death. I see this as a generous gesture. Life and death intertwine. Much like dark and light, day and night, our grounding in electromagnetic fields mirrors the integration of these opposites, shaping our unique existence as it emerges in the now moment. On what would have been Thai's Thich Nhat Hanh 97th birthday today, I reflect on the threefold training I received as one of many of his direct disciples. Embracing Buddhahood, I cultivated it through ethics, meditation, and wisdom. Ethical practices forge a direct connection, fostering awareness in my speech, mindfulness in my actions, and embodiment in the right livelihood. As a layperson, I make my meditation the center of this mindfulness action. One can meditate while walking, standing, eating, and listening. Every action in the present moment is a meditation in itself that leads to awareness. Wisdom may be experienced when one is one with nature, integrating the polarities that present themselves as triggers or attachments, a fusion or unity necessary to overcome the false duality of the world of appearances in the striving towards spiritual awakening or living by one's truth. In the middle way, integration prevails. Sacrifice transforms into a state of grace, joy, and understanding. The tears I shed are an expression of the pure love I feel for my mother, her spirit residing within me. It is the same kind of joy I feel when I'm connected to the spirit of humanity. Amidst humanity's suffering and the current carnage that unfolds, my offerings are full of attentiveness, and there is an unwavering devotion to living with compassion and understanding, steering clear of further polarized events. I do not need to sacrifice anything, for I am offering my true self at all times. May all beings be happy, free from pain, living with ease. May all beings be free. Quote, Thai emphasizes smiling, friendship, the beauty of nature, warmth, hugging, and identifying the positive qualities in ourselves, our friends, and our lives. The mind is full of habits. Sometimes we're unhappy because our mind is focused on unhappy experiences or fears about the future. We fail to see that suffering is often the result of wrong perception. By focusing on and practicing positive states of mind, we encourage our mind to make new habits and transform our lives. Buddhist practice provides a form of fitness for the mind. If when you are running to catch the post, you find yourself out of breath, you might decide to undertake a program of exercises to give yourself the sort of body you want to have. This fitness program teaches us the skills to limit the damage of negative energies and to have the sort of mind that we want to have. In short, to free ourselves from the prison of negative habits. Thai teaches us to regard words merely as useful conventions rather than getting caught up in the dogma of concepts and notions. And rather than generalizing and abstracting, it is better to speak from our own direct experience. This is from the Plum Village Community of Interbeing, the Manual of Practice, Chapter 2, Teachings. There's a link to the PDF. Quote, the other person has wrong perceptions about himself and about us, and we have wrong perceptions about ourselves and the other person. And that is the foundation for violence and conflict and war. Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm going to read another quote. Avalokiteshvara, while practicing deeply with the insight that brings us to the other shore, suddenly discover that all of the five sankhas are equally empty, and with this realization, he overcame all ill being. Listen, Saraputra, this body itself is emptiness, and emptiness itself is this body. This body is not other than emptiness, and emptiness is not other than this body. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Listen, Sariputra, all phenomena bear the mark of emptiness. Their true nature is the nature of no birth, no death, no being, and no non-being. No defilement, no purity, no increasing, no decreasing. That is why in emptiness, body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness are not separate self-entities. The 18 realms of phenomena, which are the 6 sense organs, the 6 sense objects, and the 6 consciousness, are also not separate self-entities. The 12 links of the interdepending arising and their extinction are also not separate self-entities. Ill-being, the causes of ill-being, the end of an ill-being, the path, insight, and attainment, are also not separate self-entities. Whoever can see this no longer needs anything to attain. Bodhisattvas who practice the insight that brings us to the other shore see no more obstacles in their mind. And because there are no more obstacles in their mind, they can overcome all fear, destroy all wrong perceptions, and realize perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future, by practicing the insight that brings us to the other shore, are all capable of attaining authentic and perfect enlightenment. Therefore, Saraputra, it should be known that the insight that brings us to the other shore is the great mantra, the most illuminating mantra, the highest mantra, a mantra beyond compare, the true wisdom that has the power to put an end to all kinds of suffering. Therefore, let us proclaim a mantra to practice the insight that brings us to the other shore. Gate gate paragate, param samgate bodhisattva. Gate gate paragate, param samgate bodhisattva. Gate gate paragate, param samgate bodhisattva. This is taken from the Heart Sutra, the insight that brings us to the other shore, translation by Thich Nhat Hanh. I don't want to speak too much about what's going on. We're very much aware where we are in place and in history. May you be well. May you have the strength to integrate your own polarities, and we can continue living with a sense of joy.